Welcome back, and in today's video, we take a look at a woman complaining about men not helping them, and this female counselor admits that women don't want any kind of accountability. But before we jump in, please make sure to subscribe the channel and turn on the bell notification.
So I was talking to a male friend of mine the other day, and he told me that women don't apologize and women can't be held accountable. And I began to really think deeply about this idea. And one of the things that came across my mind is, in the last 9 months or so of me being in my private practice, I have myself experienced many women, whether they came in as a couple or they came by themselves, they very abruptly discontinued their therapy. And I started to reflect and really think, what was going on here? And I noticed that after I had to confront them about something, I had to bring to their attention something they were doing that wasn't contributing to the health of the relationship, they became very defensive and very, just very harsh, and they stopped coming. And even though the husband would continue to come, he made it very clear that, she won't apologize. She thinks you're wrong. She thinks you're taking my side. And I began to really reflect, oh my gosh, is it true that women don't apologize? Is it that women struggle with being held?
Now we have got licensed female therapist admitting that women don't want to be held responsible, but still, you will get a herd of sheeps who will continue to say that men are the real problem.
Google the richest women in the world, where they got their money from. It's rough. It's rough out there, guys. They ain't starting businesses. They're marrying dummies.
It's almost all of it is divorce.
Feminists do not want to hear this. But there was one woman who was the richest woman ever from a startup company, Elizabeth Holmes. She ran a company called Theranos. She started it herself, dropped out of college to start this company, and it was a total fraud. It was all fraudulent. She's going to jail forever. She was worth $34 billion at one point. It was a blood testing company. They falsified all sorts of data, and they lied to investors and all sorts of shit. She used to dress like Steve Jobs. She wore a black turtleneck and everything, and I saw her speak once.
I made my last alimony payment this month. It was...
You guys were married for 8 years?
Yeah, so in California...
It's half the time you were married?
Unless it goes to 10 years, and then it's indefinite. It's up to the judge.
After 10 years?
Yep. If we had been married for 10 years, it would be an indefinite amount of alimony, up to the judge. And that payment was assessed based on my earnings, of course, but also there were no, stipulations about her needing to work ever. Right, so those payments are coming out, and she just doesn't have to work, and she hasn't worked ever. So
you paid alimony for 4 years?
Yeah,
4 years.
Yep.
Okay.
She didn't work the whole time?
No, not since we even got together.
And that is how the laws work for men, or should I say against men. And women are really smart in using these laws, and their emotional drama is the cherry on top, which, even though isn't necessary, pushes the verdict in their favor by a landslide margin.
Sitting out here struggling to get this in my car. Men are walking back and forth. No one is trying to help me.
But why should they? And why would they even want to? After all, women have been telling men over and over again to leave them alone. Women are independent. They don't need men. And now some are complaining when men are actually listening to them.
They don't make real men anymore. I'm sorry, I'm not all men, because there are good men out there.
That's a very good point. There are good men out there.
As a woman, you don't see men holding doors anymore. They don't help anymore. They rush and sit down on trains and buses before women and pregnant women and elderly are sitting down. It's just a hot mess out here. But
this really shouldn't come as a surprise. After all, isn't this what some women wanted? What modern feminism was pushing for? For women to be treated as equals to men, right? No special treatment needed. Don't need to hold open a door. Why help out? Women can do everything themselves just as good as men can. But now it seems some are complaining that they got exactly what they asked for.
Now they said that women can do everything better than a man, and now, just because men have heard them and acted the way they wanted, they have now started bashing men for that as well. And it doesn't matter what men do. A lot of modern women will find something to complain about not holding themselves accountable for the mess they have created.
Having a boyfriend is worth it.
Is when?
Is when he is able to fully support you and pay all your bills. I said it.
Yeah, you said it. But wouldn't it just be so much easier to admit that one is broke and can't actually handle being an adult and paying one's own bills?
He's not your husband. If you're gonna be a girlfriend to someone, he needs to be paying all your bills. Otherwise, why is he there? What is his purpose?
Well, I could think of several reasons, actually, but what do I know?
If he's not, he's just a boyfriend. Meaning if he leaves you, and a boyfriend is not a legal title.
Congratulations for figuring that part out.
If he leaves you and promises you marriage, leaves you with nothing, you get nothing.
At least they understand the basics.
But if he's paying all your bills, you're able to save money, you're able to invest into businesses that you want to do. If he leaves you, you're leaving with something else at the end of it.
Another example of a strong, independent woman who can stand on their own 2 feet. Not at all a gold digger.
But to date a guy and be someone's girlfriend for free?
Is it just me, or is some women completely lost when it comes to actually understanding what the concept of dating is?
Being someone's girlfriend is not worth it, okay? No. If you're gonna be a girlfriend, he needs to be paying a bill or two. These bills are due. I'm not usually anyone's girlfriend, but I'll make that exception for you if you're willing to pay some bills. If you're willing to pay a bill or two.
I can just imagine all the men running to that woman's profile to take advantage of that situation. Right.
Please share this part of the video with all of your friends and family so that they can know the reality of the outside world from a dating perspective, because staying single for life is a much better deal than having a relationship with someone like her.
When it benefits them. Let me explain. What I mean by this is, have you ever noticed that when women bring up a 50-50 conversation, it always has to do with household chores, emotional labor, cooking and cleaning? But the conversation is almost never about when was the last time that you fixed his car? When was the last time you took his car for an oil change? When was the last time that man got to sit on the couch and not hang your pictures on the wall? When was the last time you fixed the plumbing or fixed your own car? Exactly, because 50-50 is not a real thing unless it benefits women. So let me get this straight. Women have added all of this emotional labor and all of these house chores while he's been working. And what does he get in return? He gets lukewarm effort. He gets lack of loyalty. He gets nagging. He gets a bad attitude. He gets a woman that doesn't value the relationship and doesn't take pride in taking care of a family or him. Women will almost never acknowledge a man's labor in the relationship because it's expected. But when he expects her to cook and clean, oh no, now it's a problem. And you see this a lot when women go to get divorced. The only other time that women give a fuck about 50-50 is when you're going through a divorce. Again, because it benefits them. So it's just crazy to me that this is still a conversation, because if you truly believed in 50-50, that man wouldn't have to add more to his plate while you simply sit back and do the same things that you've always been doing. Okay, bye.